I think first off, it might be a good idea to tell you a little bit about my story of being in hospital. It must have been about 18 months ago. I was out surfing with my friends in Cornwall. I thought I was having a great time, as you do, but 2 days later I woke up in Southampton, quite a journey, in ICU, not really knowing where I was or what was going on. And as it turned out, I'd gone home from Cornwall and gone out for lunch with my sister and got involved with a car crash, backseat passenger, 30 miles an hour. One of the things that can happen to absolutely anyone. The next 2 weeks in hospital, if I'm honest, were pretty great fun. Copious amounts of morphine, so you power through. But the next 3 months, contrary to what my mum would probably say about me enjoying being in bed, but the next 3 months in bed on my back was probably some of the hardest times of my life. And I think the real mark and the real end to that only really came once I was moved to Salisbury Hospital and I was allowed to go out for the first time to Horatio's garden. The first time coming out into fresh air in over 3 months. I think Joseph said it best earlier, in the hospital it's sanitised, and coming out of that environment, as somebody that previously being outdoors and doing outdoors activities was such an important part of my life, going back outside and getting that taste of fresh air and being in a garden, it's that first step to getting a bit of yourself back again. You're not property of the hospital anymore. You're yourself, breathing fresh air, wandering around what could be anywhere. It's not a hospital anymore. It's just somewhere you are with your family or your friends. And I think that first time would have been enough to justify all of this, but then you are forgetting about the most important thing, which is K Thursdays. Big fan. Every Thursday, loads of extra helpers, volunteers all come in because out of the kindness of their soul they want to make your week that little bit better, and Horatio's Garden gives them a platform to be able to do that. And I remember sitting for hours just talking to John, who I believe was the next bishop, fascinating guy, for just the sake of talking to someone that isn't involved with the hospital. You're not talking to your doctor, you're not talking to your physio, you're just talking to someone else, which is easy to sort of pass up in everyday life, but when you're in hospital, it means a lot. It means a hell of a lot. And I think I can speak for everyone in saying that the essence of Horatio's Garden is that it's other from the hospital. It's the antithesis or the antidote to hospital, if you like. I mean, in my time alone, I had a wedding. Well, not personally. My friend Steve Vincent had a wedding in Horatio's Garden because he wouldn't be able to make his wedding because of an accident. And I think that really sums up the otherness. I mean, I'm a huge fan of music. Being in hospital, I couldn't see any music for a long time, except in Horatio's Garden, where we had live music and live guitarists come in. And again, that just underlines my point about it being other than hospital, and about getting back to being who you are, rather than getting back to concentrating on always, more physio, more OT. Even OT, I'll be picking up a peg and putting it back in the box 10 times in a row for an hour. Somehow that's actually a bearable activity when you're in such a beautiful environment. You're not really thinking about what you're doing, you're enjoying where you are, and that just cannot be done in a hospital ward. But Horatio's garden does that for you, and that's really, really important. And also it's a place to be with friends. I mean, I had friends come visit me, and instead of being, maybe slightly naively with me, you're always a little bit embarrassed when people come to see you in the hospital, and you've got all your sort of medical, let's put it politely, medical stuff in and around your bed. Going to Horatio's garden, it's like you're with your family and your friends on a day out, or somewhere that you both like to be, rather than them coming to visit you. And again, that underlines the point is, other than the hospital, it's getting back to normality and getting back to finding who you are again, rather than being that person lying in a bed flat on your back for 3 months. And I do not know how that would be possible without Horatio's garden. It's not just a pretty garden in a hospital, it's really, really so much more. And I hope you guys can see that as much as I have been privileged enough and thankful enough really to experience my time at hospital. So thanks very much.
More than anyone could ever do about what Horatio's Garden is about. Thank you so much for being with us.
It's easy when it's true.
Well, thank you.